Alright, listen up fellow adventurers and RPG lover boys slash girls. March 2025 is shaping up to be a huge month for RPG fans across all the subgenres pretty much, with some big studio names as well as some upcoming indie titles that are shaping up to be the type of game that will no doubt generate tons of Reddit questions like, oh my god, why is this game not talked about more? We're talking about a veritable buffet of digital delights, a smorgasbord of sword, sorcery, and suspiciously large swords that, according to the laws of physics, no normal human should be able to wield. So this list is exactly that, a list of 8 upcoming RPGs for the month of March 2025 that should definitely be talked about more. So let's get into this in order of release. Kicking things off on March 6th is Chernobylite 2 Exclusion Zone. So picture this, you're in Chernobyl yet again, but this time it's not about avoiding radiation, it's about surviving whatever the is in the radiation. This is a post-apocalyptic survival horror RPG with more spooks than an episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog Show. This game is releasing on early access, which means us PC broskis out there get to be the guinea pigs, which is always fun. Just hope your PC doesn't melt down from the sheer intensity of the game and the radiation levels while playing it. But also, for the uninitiated, this is a sequel to the original Chernobylite. That was a first-person survival RPG that released all the way back in 2019. But these two games don't really compare to each other apart from the name and the setting, really, as the upcoming sequel looks to improve and pretty much change and expand on almost every aspect of the original title. Think of it like this, the original game was kind of the test the waters demo of what that company really wanted to produce, and thankfully we don't have to wait any longer than March 6th to be able to jump into Chernobyl for like the 1000th time. I mean, the launch of this game can't possibly be as bad as Stalker 2, right? Anyway, next up on the list, if running around radiated Chernobyl is not your cup of tea, then launching on the same day of March 6th, we have one for the old head gamers out there like me, who grew up with pixelated graphics and a wild imagination of what these characters might look like if they were rendered in Unreal Engine 5. Now, this game also is not really rendered in UE5 or high definition graphics for the matter, but we can't really fault the game for not having this very charming art style. But Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, man. Gaterune and Dunan Unification Wars. We're talking about a remaster of not just the first one, but also the second game as well. Two very widely loved games back in the day in the pixelated world of JRPGs. If you've never experienced the joys of recruiting 108 characters, and yes, you heard me correctly, 108 freaking characters, then prepare to lose your social life and your sleep and maybe your sense of time as well. But it's worth it, honestly. It's like Pokemon, but with way more political intrigue and characters with tragic backstories, which doesn't sound as cool now that I say it. It also has a very cool combat system coupled with a very addictive soundtrack and just awesome graphics, man. I love these pixelated looking games. But now, if that isn't your thing either, then maybe an action RPG coming out as well on the same day that has dragons might be your thing. Do I need to say any more than that? Really, broski? Okay, I will say some more information on this game, as it is a isometric action role-playing game, and by that I mean Dragonkin the Banished. Think of it like Diablo, Path of Exile, or games like that where the Carne is just basically eradicating the population of the opposition faction of different demons, orcs, and all manner of creatures, both big and small. Now, what makes Dragonkin stand out is that the game is part demon killer, part city builder of sorts, as you get to upgrade the city you inhabit on your path to greatness. And these upgrades, for example, give you higher tier gear, of course, but also additional content and stat bonuses. So it looks like it's an integral part of the game, and apparently, according to the devs, once the online mode finally does go live, because this is launching in early access by the way, your friends can live in the same city as well and share loot and stat bonuses and all that jazz. So if that does tickle your fancy, then March 6th, man, there's a third game coming out that day as well, which more than likely will get a lot of attention. So if you can't wait to get your hands on this game, then it launches on early access on March 6th. Next up, on March 11th, we have samurais in open world and a whole lot of sword action, as the somewhat highly anticipated Rise of the Ronin drops for PC users across the world. Expect anywhere from 30 to 70 hours of just pure fun in this action RPG, and if you're a fan of games like Neo 1 and 2 or Wolong Fallen Dynasty, then this is all of that, but in an open world setting, and just looks like the perfect Ronin simulator in all honesty. While the game released back in 2024 on the PlayStation ecosystem, this port of sorts comes with a whole heap of upgrades that will hopefully hopefully runs good on release, and it's not like the other PlayStation ports that we've had release on PC this last year or two, because some of them, they have been very rough. Anyway, you get to swing an assortment of different weapons, glide about through the air on some wings, and stealth killicize your way through feudal Japan while looking cool as f doing it as well, because let's face it, man, half of the fun of being a Ronin is looking cool while doing it. This game also has been praised for its character creator and customization, as well as freedom of choice in combat, so you get to really build your own Ronin and just live the fantasy life of being literally Afro-freaking samurai, if you want to, of course. I mean, I don't know, broski, that's at least the character I'm going for, because I just want to do that. So yeah, man, this game drops on PC on March 11th. Now, going a bit the opposite way in terms of fast-paced action, we have Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned land, that is releasing on the 21st of March. Now, Atelier as a series is more on the cozy side of RPGs maybe, as the series is known for its charming characters, cozy atmosphere, and crafting systems so deep that most likely you'd find oil if you keep digging. The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned land, that broski, is it just me or are these names just getting longer and longer? Like, what is going on? Anyway, the new Atelier game is not only a cozy base builder and item crafter, but also a full-on action JRPG with a rather cool and interesting battle system, where it's kind of this hybrid combat scenario where instead of freely moving about on the battlefield, you click on skills to pull off, and this can either attack the enemy head on or jump back and do some ranged damage. It's all based on what skills you synthesize, which is the game's kind of in-depth skill crafting system, which looks cool and seems to have a ton of variety in it. You can also change active characters and build your own deck of skills and just have freedom of choice, which just looks awesomely chill but challenging enough to keep you invested for the long run, which is no doubt excellent news for fans of the series. If you're looking for a relaxing, heartwarming RPG with a lot of mixing things in cauldrons, building a base of operations, and flashy combat with an abundance of waifus, then this might just be your jam. Though I still have zero idea on how they fit so many items in those tiny backpacks of theirs. Now, moving on, about a week later on March 27th, we get our artificial hands on AI Limit, a Souls-like action RPG with a setting that no doubt has someone somewhere think that it can really happen if the artificial intelligence ecosystem fails, which it has in this game. It's fallen, resulting in the death of humankind basically by the hand of large beasts that came out all Uruk-hai style out of the mud, which is this mysterious substance in the game, not in real life of course, that has spread across the world and is causing all this ruckus. The game is a Souls-like, so if you've played one of them, you've pretty much played all of them, dude. So expect any amount of raging, some Reddit ranting, and trying to make all kinds of OP builds. And I do have to personally say, I do love this genre of games when it's done right. And so far, it seems like AI Limit is ticking every box, from the very cool looking art style to an addictive and responsive combat system to a story that will no doubt have you sit there thinking, what the hell is going on? But it just looks awesome altogether. Like, I'm personally excited to see how this game ends up being, because the demo of the game felt super nice to play in all honesty. So if you're ready to create your custom anime girl waifu killing machine and get lost in the futuristic post-apocalyptic cyberpunk world, that's a confusing genre, filled with mud basically, then March 27th, man, is the day you can do exactly that. Now, if post-apocalyptic robot ladies aren't your thing, then maybe Atomfall is, when it finally drops on March 27th. Think of Atomfall as Bioshock meets Atomic Heart. This game looks like it's gonna be a wild ride through fictional Britain in a world that's gone slightly bonkers. Now, Atomfall is a post-apocalyptic action RPG, which post-apocalyptic seems to be the thing nowadays, that is inspired by real events in British history, where a nuclear power plant went kaboom all the way back in 1957, and 5 years later you set foot in the world as an explorer slash detective slash harbinger of violence, as you can pretty much decide how to go about uncovering the secrets of the world and the mysterious cause of the wind-scale nuclear disaster. What makes this game stand out is that there seems to be a heavy emphasis on the story and mystery surrounding it. So I for one have my fingers crossed, not because of radiation mutation, for a spiritual sequel of Bioshock essentially. So March 27th, man, Atomfall drops then. And last but certainly not least, man, March 27th seems to be the day of competition, really. We have the first Berserker Khazan, or however the the hell you say that? This one looks dark and emo in the best way possible, really. Like, we're talking lights off, curtains closed, and headphones playing Slipknot or Godsmack on repeat. That kind of dark, man. This game is a hardcore action RPG slash Souls-like with a heavy emphasis on combat and hopefully really cool white wavy hair. Also, probably some truly epic boss fights, because as with most games that fit this Souls-like genre, you gotta get ready for some BS grab attacks and iframe dodging against enemies that are the size of small houses. And from the looks of it, the first Berserker looks like it's not gonna go easy on players, really, that want to explore the dark and grim world of Dungeon Fighter Online. Get ready to unleash your inner Berserker with some awesome looking moves, a really cool looking like cel shaded anime kind of art style, and no doubt some really epic music too. Just make sure you don't get too carried away and accidentally break your controller or keyboard, okay? I don't really want to be responsible for the infinite rage quitting that will no doubt ensue. So there you have it, 8 upcoming RPGs, JRPGs, Souls-likes, all of these awesome games coming up for March of 2025. Let me know in the comments down below which game you are most excited to play or pick up, if it's multiple, if it's one game, if you're still playing games from the end of February. So Monster Hunter is coming out then, and I know myself, I'm gonna be playing a ton of that. So hopefully these games, man, can get my gaze away from Monster Hunter for even a few hundred hours probably. So be sure to click the like button, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'd love to have you on our journey to the greatness of the tubes, man. In any case, I really hope you have a great day wherever you're from, whichever time of day you watch this at. I don't really know how to end this video, so click this link, click that link, enjoy the meme in the outro, and keep on trucking my broskies. Catch you in the next upload. Peace.